Right. Job I was supposed to do a few days ago but didn't get round to doing. I was supposed to do it yesterday actually. Haven't got round to doing it yet, but I am now. So yeah, I have to replace this wall socket because it got very hot. I'm not sure why. I don't think the electrics are that great in here, to be honest. Right, got it. Here we go. That's going to go to the bin. Right, I'm now going to try and, if I can, get a bit more out. Oh, it's pretty much wired back in the way it was before, pretty much. We're soon going to find out when I turn the electric on in 5 minutes. The moment of truth. Here we go. We've got some power. That's good. All good now. Welcome to Savernake Forest, just outside Marlborough. This is one of the oldest forests in Britain, if not the oldest forest, and it has some of the oldest trees in Europe. Big place, much bigger than Stanton, maybe about 15 times bigger than Stanton, I think. If you didn't know your way around this place, you could quite easily get lost. We're not intending to go too far just because of time restraints and other things, but we've gotten out of the town just because there's just so many people at the weekend walking their dogs. It's almost impossible to keep your 2 meters apart because of the COVID-19. So we've just jumped in our car, 15 minutes drive. We've come out here and there's not a soul about. So less chance of catching some kind of infection and less chance of actually passing it on. As I say, it's got some of the oldest trees in Europe, and what you will notice as we go around is that they're kind of more indigenous trees around here than there are kind of indigenous ones. There's more old English oak trees and things which are indigenous to England rather than stuff which has been brought in over the years. But yeah, it's a good old traditional forest, Savernake Forest. I'm not sure what this is all about. I don't know. It's
like a looking station.
some kind of a hide, I suppose.
Like a lifeguard station.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but have a look, I suppose. I don't know if it's safe for me to do this, but I'll be the king of the castle maybe in a moment.
Be what?
I'll be the king of the castle. There we go. This is Bear Grylls country. If you know who Bear Grylls is, he lives in Marlborough. So I think he would thrive in a place like this. Bear Grylls being, I think, formerly of the SAS. If the crap hit the fan, and society was to break down and no food would get into the shops. Literally, we were thrown back to the Stone Age once again. I think people like Bear Grylls would probably be able to survive. A person with the bushcraft skills, able to make his own little dwelling, able to make fire. He's able to hunt and trap his own food, butcher it, make it into a meal, propagate some vegetables, other things as well, get a source for drinking water. Pretty much the skills a domesticated human being has lost. There's another one of these tall lookouts. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what these things are, you know. And this is quite a tall one. I mean, it's like, when I stand 6 foot, and that's like twice the size of me. See if we can, it says danger. I like a bit of danger. Get ready to call the ambulance.
Andrew, don't do it. I can't. I can't do that in 1 hour.
Yeah, you can give me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Oops, sorry about that. Not sure what these things are all about, you know. But you certainly get a stand on the side. Quite a good view. Anyway, interesting. Anyway, get back home and have a nice cup of tea. Anyway, let's get ourselves down. We're going to get ourselves off pretty soon, I think, and go and have a nice cup of tea. Pick up a bag of poo. I tell you, there's no dog bins around here, so it means that I've got to walk all the way around with my bag of poo. Okay. Just come across this this tree fallen down. Massive old tree. Look at the size of that thing. My goodness me. I think the high winds we have maybe a few weeks back have seen this one come down. It looks like it's come down quite recently. All the indications are that it's quite a recent sort of a demise to such a lovely tree. It's interested in the soil structure there. It looks like it's got a lot of iron in it. Iron, perhaps mixed with clay. I can't quite reach over because there's it's left quite a big crater down there. Quite a big crater. Huge tree, absolutely massive. I think it's a beech. I think it's a beech tree. I might be wrong with that one. Anyway, a bit of a sad note. I learnt yesterday that one of my nemesis on the internet, which I used to talk to and debate with years ago, a chap by the name of DPR Jones. He was like a hardline atheist kind of a person. A decent guy. I liked him, you know. We had some runnings in, I suppose, on the internet.
One thing I heard this week, 1 second, I have to get this in because I heard an absolutely wonderful quote from AC Grayling, and he said religion and science shared a common ancestor, and that common ancestor was ignorance. Science has moved on, religion has not.
Yeah, I agree. Religion. Yeah, I agree. I'm not religious myself. I have a very simple faith, like I've told you many times. You know, that's when I had my more religious head on at the time. We're talking maybe 8 or 9 years ago now, I think. You know, I've kind of gotten over that and moved on somewhat, you know. But yeah, very sad to learn that I call him a friend, DPR Jones, that he sadly passed away back in January. I think he was about my age. I don't know the cause of death. I don't know, but it's very sad, you know, when someone dies like that, and You know, there's a few people who've died on the internet over the past few years, which you've talked to and got quite friendly with, and DPR Jones also became quite a friend, you know, after our fallings out on the internet, which was quite amusing. Yeah, so for those people who know DPR Jones, raise your glass to DPR Jones. I'll be raising a cup of tea later because I don't drink much, but I'll certainly raise a cup of tea to DPR Jones. You know, he was a person who, obviously being an atheist, he didn't believe that there was any evidence of God at all. You know, he was a very kind of a critical thinker. You know, he's very black and white with him. You know, but the world isn't really black and white. You know, you can read between the lines, and when there's the absence of something, then you know that there's something else which fills the absence, if that makes sense. There's a severe lack of doggy bins. Have to take it home now and sort it out that way, dispose of it that way. Yeah, a bit of a shame. I was surprised there's not that many doggy bins about. There we go. Anyway, we're going to scoot off back home now. So that was our little jaunt for today. Exercise, if you like. Come on in. Good boy. Had to well, didn't have to take the car out for a ride. That was unessential. You're right. Some water there. The reason why I took the car out for a drive today is because we've got a bit of a system malfunction there, and my mechanic said it's not long come on. He said just drive it for a while and just see if it stays on for 20 miles. And I thought, you know, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I took advantage of it. So there we go. So yeah, it was kind of unessential but essential. But I didn't see any harm in coming out here where we've not met anyone. We've seen some people, but from a distance, and certainly no contact at all. So we far less chance of getting any kind of infection out here with COVID-19 or coronavirus than there is in Swindon, because there's lots of people walking around Swindon at the moment with their dogs. People are getting out the weekend, and we simply came out here and haven't seen a soul basically. I'm trying to figure how the hell do you dismantle this thing. It's like Meccano gone badly wrong. Meccano on drugs. Done it. Done it. Cup of tea. Right, I'm going to put it all kind of together now with a couple of these cable ties. Really handy things actually, those cable ties. I put one that side, I put one on this side, so at least it should hold it together. Yeah, on the old dog front, that dog Max, you know, the Alaskan Malamute, looks like he's got a home now. So that's good. I'm glad he's got a home. Would have liked to have him, but he's just such a big dog. You know, I don't think we can handle a big dog anymore. We got one big dog as it is. So that's probably enough for us. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with that. I think I'll put it up there actually. Hang it up there. Put some screws in and then hang it on the screws, I think. That's what I think I'll do with that. I think if I drive one in, here, another one in here, and then stick up there out the way rather than having it dragging on the floor somewhere. Stay there alright. There we go, just frees up a bit more space rather than having it strewn across the floor. Got it hung up. Right, mate?
Oh, you hung it?
Yeah,
Nice.
I just drove some screws into the side and then
That's good.
just used it as just hung it up just to get it off the floor. So it's alright. Does what I want it to do pretty much. There we go. You okay? Yeah. Chillier today, isn't it? Windier as well.
Yeah.
What are you doing today? Anything much?
Nothing. It's a bit more time than I think, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kate. We've been out obviously in the morning, you know.
A good stroll.
Yeah, it was alright. Went up Savernake Forest. It was okay. Apparently you're not allowed to drive to these places
I
with...
heard that, but I just think that's silly.
Yeah, but why? Why would they
That's
want
what
to
I
do
mean,
that?
just, you're not hurting anyone when you're in your car.
In your car?
You're not spreading anything.
I'm spreading it, but I think what somebody was saying, if you have an accident, you've got to get out your car and talk to people, you know. But
How often is that going to happen?
well, it's the occurrence of that happening is less than me walking out the street with my dog and bumping into
Yeah.
someone.
You probably bump into more people down the park.
Well, that's the reason why we thought that's the reason why we thought we'd go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, just get away from people. Well, looks like her indoors is asleep. Right, we're cracking on with dinner at the moment. We're making fajitas, so we've got the whole fajita mix there. It's a frozen one from Aldi. So I've got some leafy kind of salad, tomatoes, cheese, clean hands. I've got clean hands, don't worry. Don't want to overfill these things, otherwise you can't crimp them at the end like that. And then what I do, stick them in like so, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting them in the oven for about 5 minutes just to kind of crisp up a little bit. So just get my mixture. Don't want to put too much in, as I said. That's about as much as you want to put in, because other stuff is going on there like tomatoes, cucumber. Right, okay. There you go, so. There you go, mate. Yeah, that's it, mate. Well done, guys. Well, you saying grace? Grace.